Okay. Let's see what's new with Fortnite. I need to drink some water. I'm on Switch 1, by the way, so forgive the lag. Oh shoot. I forgot about the music. Hold on. Oh, let me turn off the music. Jeez. Okay, we should be safe now. I think. Yeah, I remember getting that Superman. Probably gonna do some zero build, but I'll be right back. I need to get some water. Should have thought of that before, but oh well. Damn, it is so cold out there. Well, I got my water, so at least now I can stay hydrated. Word of the day is confutation. Proof that something is wrong. Confutation. I downloaded this new app called Vocabulary, and it's teaching me new words every day. So hopefully I'll be a walking thesaurus. I just want to see what they have that's... I mean, obviously they added South Park to the game, but I mean, is there anything within my price range available right now? Really? The Office? Is there anything worth getting? I guess could always get new music. Though I can't listen to it because I'm streaming right now. So probably not a good idea. Going down to South Park. Nah. Go to quests. I guess you can unlock Butters. Music Pass rewards. Why not? Alright, let's do some zero build. What's Quint? Yeah, Kill Bill. Ah, no, I'm not getting that. 'Cause I still have Snake. On my other account, I have a lot more characters, and shame to say, I did spend a little bit of money on this game, but I don't know. I try to not spend as much as I can on any kind of in-game currency because it's useless. Like, what's the point? Whatever I can attain from just playing the game, like that's what I try to go for more than the stuff. I mean, if they have a character that I really, really like I don't know, maybe like if Sora gets into the game, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, maybe, you know, I try to spend as little time, energy on that as possible. Alright, so where are we going? I think some of my teammates have already... I'm just gonna follow, Liao's. I'm just gonna follow that beacon. Zany just put a beacon up there. So yeah, this is Switch 1 Fortnite. As you can see, we're looking kind of rough. A little rough. But you'd be surprised. I mean, wow. That tree barely loaded in at all. Hey, it's Jake. Jake and the Bob. Where does this take us? So I'm sensing a theme here. We were introduced to a bunch of cartoon characters. I think it all started with Family Guy. Maybe or something else. They've just started putting like a bunch of I mean, I've just noticed a bunch of characters from Cartoon Network. Some from Nickelodeon. You know, we have the Comedy Central sorts like I guess you're not really Superman. I just get hurt from a little fall. Zany's down already. Oh, that's not good. Good. And wrap up my boot. Let's go get Zany. Oh, shoot. Oh, come on, give me something. None of that. We're survivors. We're gonna survive. Well, that would have been useful to know what that did. Where's the thing? The thingamajig that revives people is over here somewhere. The reboot. There we go. Oh, you can drive it? This is looking really rough. Ooh, okay. I want that purple gun, whatever that is. Oh, shoot. Never mind. Oh, low on fuel. Look at that. And the storm's clear. It's definitely got everybody. Nice. Crap. Oh, stupid. Well, this ain't good. Where is this taking us? Okay. Shoot. Danny's down again. It might be helpful to have this actually. This ain't good. Well, that wasn't bad. Definitely wasn't my finest moment. Let's change my character. Solid Snake with a cape. I don't know. It's very out of character. I'll just randomize it. The stun knife. I'm just gonna randomize almost everything. Let me see. No. Sidekicks. When did this become a thing? I have a little pet. That's kind of cool, I guess. We'll do one more zero build and then move on to something else. I do kind of want to do some of the quests, but I don't know if we'll have time for all that. Maybe not tonight, since it is a work night. You know, I'm thinking about ways that I could improve my writing, improve YouTube. I do kind of want to pursue YouTube. It's kind of just something that I'm not very consistent with, but if I was very consistent with it and I was producing content, you know, one thing I often ask myself is what is the content I want to produce? And that varies, because sometimes I want to just, like, I want to talk about my feelings on certain things, but then sometimes I want to just keep it relative to just gaming. Or just things of that nature. I think I also want to make it a point to say that, like, games in the early 2000s, in the 90s to early 2000s, were a lot different from games today. It's not to say they're better or worse, you know, because every generation has their, you know, we were living in the best era to be a kid and the worst era to be an adult. Every generation goes through that, but I'm just thinking about how things are just so different. A lot of it has to do with, like, the emphasis of online play and microtransactions, and I mean that definitely is a big factor, but it's also just, I don't know, everything kind of becoming either a spoof or a spin-off or an advertisement, or, you know, instead of just kind of showing you why some of these games are great, a lot of these games tend to just sort of just say like, oh yeah, and you remember this thing? That's why it's the best game ever. You remember that thing? That's why it's the best game ever. Never really showing you why. Just sort of put things in perspective. Putting things in your face, you know. Shoot. Little backup would be nice, but yeah, I decided to go this solo, so I guess I got no one to blame but myself. What do we do? I guess we can talk while we wait for someone to reboot me. Something about it just screams handheld, Switch, portability, even though you don't really get very good internet service everywhere. It could be rebooted, but I'm just thinking like in terms of like the feeling of games, alright, like in the early 2000s, okay, having games be online was amazing. It was incredible. It was the best feeling in the world. You can't really it's really hard to explain why. It just felt so new and interesting to have games that were online. It was a blessing to have games that were online. And even though those online features, kind of looking back at them, they were not that great. You had to wait a long time. Some games you would load right in, but a lot of times it was like an experience that, oh, on the other side of the screen there's another human being playing alongside you or against you, and that was pretty shocking for the time. Like, online play was not something that was very is not something that was like very common for games in the 90s, but towards the early 2000s it became common because of games like World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, those were, you know, like MMO. You had the MMO crowd, and then you had the like online multiplayer. But I remember like the types of games that I would try to play online, like the first gateway to online gaming that I had was the Nintendo DS. It's actually kind of funny because, like, you know, I knew people who had like Xboxes and stuff like that, and there was the Dreamcast, but I didn't even really know what a Dreamcast was. Like, I didn't even know the difference between Dreamcast and Xbox and PlayStation. Like, I just thought they were all basically the same. You know, until I got a little older and I realized, oh yeah, you can't play Halo on PlayStation. You can't play what is it? You know, Jack and Daxter on Xbox. they're actually completely different games specific to completely different consoles. And at the time, I think it was just like Sega was just losing. Um, at the time, it felt like Sega was going to be like PlayStation's main competitor, and then they just wiped, or the floor was just pulled from under them, and they ended up becoming multi-platform. And that's why we started seeing, after the PS2 era, well, as the PS2 era was beginning, we started seeing games like Sonic Adventure 2 and Phantasy Star coming to GameCube. And, well, obviously not in America, but, Sonic Adventure 2 came to GameCube, and it was just like, what? Sonic on a Nintendo console? Yeah, and then you had the Sonic Advance Game Boy Advance. But anyways, the DS was the first segue I had into online play, and the only games that I remember playing the most on the DS, at least in the beginning, were games like Mario Kart, Metroid, Prime Hunters. What else? I think you could play New Super Mario Brothers online, but I'm not sure. Actually, no, New Super Mario Brothers wasn't on. That was local play. There's a bunch of games that had an online feature, surprisingly. Oh yeah, and Animal Crossing. Like I didn't play Animal Crossing, but I always heard people. I always heard of it. Like I heard tell of it. I read about it in Nintendo Power magazine. The things you can do in it. It always just piqued my curiosity. Just that like there were events that would happen, and then there were like online. You could go visit a person's village or whatever. That whole concept is awesome. And then, of course, Pokemon was the first time Pokemon was ever online. Because before that time, Pokemon was relatively like a face-to-face. You'd have to be in the same room as somebody to battle or trade. And Dominic Pearl introduced that whole concept of trading with people online. You never have to beat the people. You just trade them. Pick a Pokemon you want, put a Pokemon up for a trade, and see what happens. And then the battles were pretty revolutionary. And also, the DS also had a mic, so you didn't have to hook up a headset or anything. You just spoke through the DS. Granted, it was poor quality because it wasn't a cell phone. That was a pretty amazing feature for the time. And we've lost that. Like, we've lost the ability, I mean, probably for good reasons, too. Like, it's, stuff like online play, like voice chat and all that kind of stuff, that's not really as appreciated these days as much as I think it used to be. Okay, we've got to get out of this storm. This is bad. I don't know if I'll make it. I don't think I will make it. I'm gonna try, but it's definitely moving. Moving faster than I'm running. Oh shoot. technically still make it. And now we need somebody to revive us. Oh no, it's done. Let's hope Slay Speed. I mean, they seem to be doing pretty well, right? I don't know if they'll come back for us though. The game. I'm usually used to running solo, but every now and then it pays off to have a squad. Alright, let's return to the lobby for now. Skip this. I didn't even know that they do that. Give you survey questions. Hmm? Still got that going on. What else is new? They got regular battle royale. The Walking Dead universe. I'm kind of interested to see what this is. There's an escape. Let's check it out. I was a big fan of The Walking Dead, the comic series, and the TV show too, for a long time. Of course, things were better when it was just starting out. Then eventually it kind of dragged on for a long time, but thankfully the comic kind of knew where to draw the line with the ending, and I think the show just sort of keeps wanting to reboot itself and drag the story out, draw it out to where I don't even know if they want to even make a satisfying conclusion. I think they just kind of want to keep it going, but it's one of those things, like, it's a zombie story that keeps going. It's the zombie apocalypse that never ends, except when it does. But don't tell AMC that. Earn money by eliminating walkers. Let's do first person for this. We'll do the silencer. We already picked. Okay. That's gonna be distracting, isn't it? That menu keeps popping up. Gotta aim for the heads. What the heck does this do? Just sort of stupidly walking around. They're not even attacking us. Oh, okay. When you enter the room, that's when they attack. mist sort of covers everything. Starting to get the hang of this. They get stronger every game. space. It actually reminds me more of Call of Duty Zombies than The Walking Dead. Oh good, another instance. These things are amazing. was pretty nice. I like that. Is that Negan? Oh, well, that's cool. Alright. Okay, myself. I'd recommend this. Let's return to the lobby. That was interesting. Uh, what could I say? I mean, it's Fortnite on the Switch. Not gonna get very much in terms of quality graphics or, you know, it's laggy as all heck. But gotta love it. There's a certain a bit of humbleness to experiencing a game that's still going after like how many years? Like 11, 12 years now. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I just wanted to check that out and I don't know, stream, talk about stuff. Maybe I'll do more Panzer Dragoon next. Um, People seem to like that one, so I'll give that one a try. On to something else, you know?